Macros when it comes to bulking and shredding. It can be confusing. How much protein should you get? Carbs, how much fat? Does it have to be down to the precise gram? We're discussing all that, so strap in, get ready for episode 216. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I am so glad you were here. If this is your first time listening, thanks for tuning in. For my return listeners, thank you for once again coming back. It means the world to me just to share this time with you and hopefully just provide a little bit of value to you when it comes to fitness. Before we jump into today's content, if you have not grabbed your free meal plan, that's right, your free example meal plan, then head on over to bonestobulk.com. You will see it right there on the homepage. Put in your email address, sign up for it, and get that delivered right to your inbox. It's free. It's got a couple recipes in it. Like, why not? Go grab it. All right, with that being said, let's dive in. So I get that macros can be pretty confusing. There's a lot of different advice out there. There's a lot of opinions on how much you should be getting from this or that. And obviously, with keto and carnivore diets, they say, you should be getting most of it from protein and most of it from fat and as little as possible from carbs. And then you can go to other plans and it says to get a lot of carbs. And so what is the right thing for bulking, shredding, all that? Well, first off, it's not much different when it comes to bulking or shredding. In fact, it's really identical as far as the macro counts. So first, let me just kind of clear up that confusion. You don't have to do anything different as far as the macros are concerned. You do need to do something different with how many calories you are consuming as a whole, because that's ultimately what the real difference is between bulking and shredding. It's how much you're consuming. Both with weight loss or weight gain, you should be eating really healthy, whole, nutritious foods, so that doesn't really shift. It's really just the amount. And the same goes for lifting. While we're kind of on this subject a little bit, your lifting shouldn't be different whether you're trying to, again, bulk or shred. It should be the same. You should be really pushing yourself. Even if you're just trying to quote unquote tone, which let me just clarify, toning is not really a thing. You're basically lowering your body fat percentage so that your muscles are more defined. That's kind of what we have termed toning as. But in order to do that, you're still wanting to lift heavy. You're wanting to push yourself past the limits that you think you can go in the gym. But it's going to be your nutrition and eating in a deficit and eating really clean that's going to get that defined look. So just want to kind of clear that up. But as far as your macros are concerned, so first off, I recommend for the average person, now this is not a one size fits all, but for most people, about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So let's take, for example, a 200-pound person. That's 200 grams of protein a day, which comes out to 800 calories. So if you're on a 2,000-calorie diet, that's, slightly over 1/3 of your daily intake is from protein. So that is always a good rule of thumb. I always recommend keeping your fats at 20% of your daily intake or lower. So using this scenario, if you're having 2,000 calories a day and we're getting 800 from protein, then that means we want to get 400 or less from fat. So let's say an even 400, so now we're at 1,200 calories. So those remaining 800 are going to come from carbs. Now, mind you, not just empty carbs like cereals and Little Debbie snacks and all the other really bad carbs for you, but from really good carbs, because there are a lot of good ones. So rice or oatmeal, potatoes, pasta, whole wheat bread. You want to be getting a lot of carbs in, because when you're pushing yourself in the gym, you need them for energy. Your body makes really good use of those. In fact, it's your body's preferred method for fuel if it has its option from all three nutrition sources. If you have protein, fats, and carbs on hand, your body is going to choose carbs every time. So when it comes to macros, you don't have to over stress with them. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. We can get so caught up in, oh my gosh, I had, 5 grams too much of fat. When you have small variations, small differences, it's really not that big a deal. The main thing you want to focus on, again, is getting enough protein and making sure that your overall calorie count is set up to match what your goal is. So If you're trying to gain muscle mass, if you're trying to gain size, then you need to be eating in an excess. So if you're burning 1,800 or 2,000 calories a day, then you want to be eating at least 500 calories over that in order to gain muscle mass. Now, obviously, the more over that you eat, the faster you're going to put it on, but you also have to be careful you don't put it on too fast because then you will start to add some fat to that. But if you're getting a super clean diet, if you're really, really monitoring the types of food you eat, you're going to put on a very limited amount of fat as you gain muscle mass. Will you have some extra? Of course. When you go to add size, you're going to, but the cleaner you eat, the more you can avoid that. And on the flip side of that coin, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to, shed some body fat percentage, then you want to be eating in a 500 calorie deficit. So, let's say your maintenance is 2,000. You want to be eating 1,500 a day in order to shed that excess fat to make those muscles more defined or give you that shredded or quote unquote toned look. As far as where you get your macros from, obviously you want to be getting them from whole food sources as much as possible. Is this going to happen 100% of the time? No, of course not. It's pretty, I'm not going to say impossible because people do it, but it's very hard to eat everything from a whole food source without having a little bit of processed foods in the mix. But that being said, you do want to monitor how much processed foods. For me, I try to keep mostly just my snacks, things like protein bars, yogurts, some of those type of items as my processed foods. And then with my meals, it's for the most part whole foods. So your protein sources, you can get stuff. Obviously, your lean meats like fish or chicken or turkey, really lean cuts of beef are okay. I would limit your red meat to once or twice a week at most, and pork the same, once a week at most. Make sure it's a lean cut because pork can get pretty fatty. You can also get protein from cottage cheese and yogurts and non-fat milks. You can get some from chickpeas and black beans and lentils. These are all great sources. Protein, non-fat cheeses, and then obviously protein powder. I don't recommend that you get all your protein from protein powder, but it is a great supplement to just get a little bit extra in, and you should be taking some after your workout. For the most part, unless you're eating a meal right afterwards. For your carbs, there's so many good carbs. Like I mentioned some earlier, oats, rice, quinoa, whole wheat pastas, whole grain breads, potatoes. And no, you don't just have to eat sweet potatoes. I don't know where this concept that regular potatoes are terrible for you. Think about it. They both grow in the ground. Does a sweet potato have a little bit more nutrition value to it? Yes, but in my opinion, they don't taste that great. So I usually go with red potatoes, and with all your foods, bake or boil is the way to go. Try to eliminate frying as much as possible. But if you do fry, make sure it's in a good, healthy fat. So a good olive oil, coconut oil is a good option as well. And then make sure you're getting plenty of fresh veggies. Make sure you're getting some fruit in your diet. And then your fats should be coming, again, from sources like oils or fish, things like tree nuts, so almonds, cashews, walnuts, pecans, etc. Seeds are really good. Pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, chia seeds. These are all really good sources of healthy fats for you. So I hope this kind of clarifies maybe some confusion around macros, around how you should be getting your nutrition, what you should be getting it from, and gives you some new ideas to go after in the kitchen and spice things up a bit. If you found this helpful, please connect with me. I am online everywhere at Bones to Bulk. I would just love to chat with you. So shoot me a message, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest or TikTok or wherever it is, wherever you spend your time online. Make sure to connect with me, follow me, and I would love to hear from you. All right, with that being said, remember, no matter what anybody tells you, what things you're facing, what walls you're coming up against, you can accomplish any goal you set your mind to. You've got this.